Pisces, how are you, my cutie patootie? How are you doing, my Pisceana? Looking all that's so yummy. Welcome to the Renaissance Tarot. Welcome to your funny, truthful, and most favorite Armenian guy, where I serve and I slay. So, my gorgeous Pisces, today we are going to be doing your twin flame reading from the end of August for the month of September. Now, this reading is going to encapsulate you and your twin flame, the energy between you and them, past, present, and future. I'm also going to be pulling up some advice and see what is the important message here for your love situation. Now, this is a very specific message for only group of Pisces out there who are on a spiritual journey, especially with the twin flame, okay? So these are general readings, so they may resonate with you and they may not. Let's get into your reading and see what's coming up for you. Pisceana, my cutie patootie looking all that's so good. Let's see what's going on for my Pisces. I'm going to go really deep into this reading, dear Pisces, and I will also talk about the different stages when you meet your twin flame. What are the signs and synchronicities? How do you know when you meet your twin flame, right? And what are the things that actually take place during this intense, tenacious connection? Pisceana. I love you too. Ooh, the Hanged Man showed up. That's you, Pisces, from the recent past. Wow. Ooh, it's getting intense. Some lovers in here. This is literally the card of like twin flames. Okay. All right. So, dear Pisceana, the challenge or the energy between you and this person is the Devil. And at the bottom of the deck, there is the Five of Pentacles, okay? So, dear Pisceana, the Devil here is the energy between you and this person. It's a very, very, very strong sexual energy and attraction and pull. This is literally insane. The Devil here talks about also temptation, okay? There is a very strong temptation between you and this person. It doesn't matter if you're in contact or in no contact situation with your person. The Devil talks about strong, energetic, mental, physical, spiritual pull and connection towards this person. We're going to talk about this shortly, and this is your twin flame, okay? I do see here many of you possibly are going through some sort of there is this phase of loneliness, and I'm sending you the biggest hug ever out there, my dear Pisceana. Many of you have been feeling maybe just really because of this twin flame journey lonely out there, sad. Something here has happened. Okay, we have the Three of Swords here. So there is a situation that I feel like that has been making you really to go deep down within yourself. You are the most spiritual sign. It's a no-brainer for you. I don't think this is an issue for you to unlock, to really disentangle, but I think that it's been a challenge because this is a very tough type of love, okay? So we're going to clarify that. Now, in the recent past, dear Pisceana, there is the Hanged Man, the Two of Swords, and the Tower. Many of you were possibly dealing with a Scorpio, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. I'm also getting Kiro, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, or Capricorn. So dear Pisces, in the recent past, a lot of you had to really, okay, so your perspective shifted. Once you met this person, something within you told you that there is this familiar feeling. All of a sudden, you felt very much connected to this person. A lot of you went through some sort of a spiritual awakening or have been going through a spiritual awakening. Many of you experienced a major Tower moment with this person immediately with your twin flame. And I'm going to explain something very important. Okay, we're going to take our time because we don't sugarcoat in this channel and I don't do cards under the table, under the camera. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, I read the cards in front of you and I want to share the messages that you need to know. Now, dear Pisces, in the recent past, you went through some sort of a major chaotic situation. Something here was not working, okay? That's when the honeymoon phase fades away. With your twin flame specifically, then there is a crisis. There is some sort of a situation that takes place. And I think that what might have taken place between you and your twin is that you really try to show this person, show your twin, what is it that they needed to heal within themselves. When a twin flame journey starts, you both actually hold mirrors back to each other's faces, showing things back to each other that both of you need to heal. Okay, this is a one soul split living in two bodies. Not many people get to live, not many people get to actually experience a twin flame journey. So this is only one of a kind. And I'm doing this special series for for only the people who are on a twin flame journey, okay? So in the recent past, dear Pisces, there is something here that came to an end, okay? Sudden, unexpected situation that collapsed, that came to an end with the tower. The tower here also represents calamity and a collapse of old beliefs, old habits, because when you get into a twin flame journey, it cannot be operated on an old model of relationships and connections that we have had before. Because many of you were still able to let go of certain people, but when you met this person, it's been very challenging, right? We're going to talk about this shortly. So in the present moment, there is the Lovers, the Eight of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. Gemini energy here could be another water sign, fire sign. So for many of you, I feel like that there is a very strong temptation to almost like reach out to this person and to communicate with them, okay? The Lovers and the Eight of Wands, this talks about an intense connection and a desire for communication. Eight of Wands is the card of communication, and I feel like that for many of you, you're also having this shift where you're starting to really look at your twin from a more Queen of Cups energy, which is Pisces energy. And this is about really looking at this person from a very compassionate viewpoint. Because you're really realizing that this is somebody that came from some sort of either dysfunctional family, or they have had some abandonment wounds. They really were acting hot and cold, on and off, and they were very avoidant, okay? When somebody's ego gets triggered, they become avoidant. Especially in a twin flame journey, when they're very much challenged to actually heal something within themselves, the ego feels they have to protect themselves. And maybe this person also took some sort of action of becoming just avoidant from you. Okay, I'm getting here disappearing, ghosting, on and off energy. We're going to talk about this shortly. Now, in the near future, you have the Page of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Three of Swords. So in the near future, there is a major, beautiful cycle that's finally closing to an end. There is a pain that's coming to an end. There is a pain that's finally is getting transmuted and getting let go of, okay? Page of Cups, Pisces energy, and there is an apology, there is a conversation. This is the card of an apology here, and there is the Three of Swords and the Four of Swords, okay? So a major painful cycle that's finally gonna come out. I do know that I feel like that many of you have been having that cry deep within your heart, like, why is this happening to me? As a Pisces, you know, I have a very strong connection with Pisces people, I sure do. And I know that you go through like metamorphosis and purging seasons like no tomorrow, like one after another. With this person, the devil being as a main energy, as a main challenge, this is talking about you really going like maxing out, like going the extra mile of really understanding this person and being in that journey, okay? For many of you, it's been very difficult for you to move on from this person. A lot of you have embarked onto and unlocked a different level of spiritual journey. Now, I'm going to clarify the devil to get some more insight on what this actually means for you. You're somebody that's watching this that's very spiritual. A lot of you have been also thinking about starting some sort of an art or artwork. Twin flame journey is something that's linear. There is a lot of ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster that you deal with, and it's a very challenging journey, but it's going to be very much worth it, because once the twins, they surrender is the word. Once one of them specifically starts to surrender, then that's going to create a ripple effect, and the other one is going to pick up on that, but at their own pace. Now, the devil here is clarified by the Page of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Death card. First of all, the Death card is you, okay? And you have the Hangman here at the bottom of the deck, and my cards do not lie, right? So the Hangman is at the bottom of the deck, dear Pisces, which is indicating that at the end of the day, you're definitely having this spiritual awakening. There is a major metamorphosis that's happening. The Death card here with Pisces talks about transformation. It talks about rebirth, letting go, death of an old habit, big ego, and things that actually were affecting you in this connection. For many of you, you're really realizing that, there is this sense of confidence that you're actually cultivating within yourself. You're no longer obsessing over this person, Nine of Pentacles energy. You have transitioned from being in this Five of Pentacles energy, from being codependent or feeling left out or reaffirming your trauma, to an energy where you're actually embracing the fact that, I'm good on my own. And that doesn't mean you stop loving your twin, because that's literally part of yourself. But you're good on your own, meaning that you're not obsessing over the fact that this person is not here physically or in another way. What you're actually realizing right now in the present moment is that you're speaking your truth with more audacity, and you're also admitting the fact that there is a lot of changes that are happening in your life due to this twin flame connection, and it's actually going to lead you and land you to some sort of a financial opportunity. Now, the connection is very intense, and a lot of you have been tempted to either connect to this person, or they have been tempted to connect with you. The devil here, don't be afraid of that. It's not the bad thing. The devil here shows us also what are the toxic things, what are the unhealthy habits that need to die, that we really need to let go of. Because the devil's energy here is also indicating that maybe there is some sort of an obsession about certain trauma or stories from the past that we have been attached to. We need to let go of that, okay? Because your twin flame comes in and it also awakens and shakes your entire world upside down. And that actually leads to a lot of healing within ourselves when we become aware. Why aware? Because awareness is actually key. A lot of people out there, dear Pisces, I'm sure you know about this, they're just walking out there, they're the walking dead. They don't have no vision. They're not waking up to the fact that they need to do a lot of inner healing. They need to purge, they need to heal their traumas before they even get into relationships, right? So you're somebody that you have been going through multiple stages of spiritual enlightenment. Now, you are showing up in the recent past. The Hangman is clarified by the Strength. Okay, so you might have dealt with the Leo, clarified by the Queen of Pentacles and the Devil again. I can. Literally, Pisceana. This is a very strong sexual connection, okay? For many of you, shared a very strong, profound, literally extremely strong connection with this person here in the recent past, okay? The Devil, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Strength card here. The Devil here is also the main challenge. So a lot of you are realizing that even though there were a lot of strong connection, chemistry, sexual attraction between you and this person, there were many things that were not healthy. Maybe this person was avoiding clear communication with you. Maybe they were saying one thing, doing another thing. A lot of you really were going also back and forth. Is this really my twin? Is this not my twin? Is this really my person or they're not my person? And ultimately, this led to some sort of a tower moment here in the recent past for many of you. So let's clarify the Two of Swords. Let's clarify the Two of Swords for you. So the Two of Swords in the recent past is clarified by the Fool, the Three of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. Many of you really contemplated a lot about giving this person a second chance. I do see here you also possibly you were waiting for this person a lot, waiting for the changes that they need to make, waiting for them to actually be on the same page with you. This person was very on and off with you. I don't know, I'm getting a very an energy that was very inconsistent, okay? Saying one thing, doing another thing, and that's something that they needed to really heal within themselves and really take accountability for. I think that a lot of you also might have experienced some sort of passive-aggressive behavior from this person. Now, we're not here to put any sign down, anyone down. This is about, we're talking about a healing process, okay? Nobody's born perfect. Nobody's perfect, okay? So there is a situation here that in the recent past made you really question the validity of this relationship, and this person and who they really were, what they were bringing to the table. And I think that something here, there was a crisis that took place between you and this person, right? A crisis moment, something here stopped working for you and this person. The Tower moment is clarified by the Temperance, Sagittarius energy, Two of Wands, and the Empress. For many of you, I feel like that, you know, what this has led to is some sort of a separation. And this also allowed you to really start taking care of yourself more. The reason why the universe intervenes and your higher self intervenes into those kind of dynamics and the Tower moments happen is because you might have overpoured yourself out too much into this person, into your twin flame. And that's the tendency that a lot of people do, especially in twin flame journey, wanting to save the other person, wanting to show them the map to enlightenment, you know, to really embark onto a journey where they really need to change. It's like you want the best for this person, but they're not listening. And that is something that may have gotten triggered in the past. So for many of you, there was a separation that took place. But what this actually allowed you to realize in the past year, Pisces, is like you started really asking yourself, like, I'm not going to waste my time to wait for this person. I'm not going to try to force anything. I'm just going to focus on myself. Because the Empress here is about a self-care, okay? Even in the midst of this chaos, in the midst of this calamity, my beautiful Pisces, you still learn how to actually navigate and take care of yourself, okay? And I think it's been a big challenge for many of you to do that, but you did it anyways. Now, in the present moment, there is the Lovers, and the Lovers here talks about a strong connection. This is like the card of twin flame, Two of Cups, the Lovers here, okay? The Lovers here is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Six of Pentacles. A lot of you are really pausing and reflecting right now with the Hermit because you are in a Hermit mode, because you're on a spiritual path, on a spiritual journey. Many of you are really wanting to move very slowly towards this person. You do want to create a very equal give and take exchange energy with this person. This is somebody that has rejected in the past, and they were not really open to the idea of certain dynamics of the relationship that you might have offered to them. I don't know who needs to hear this, but for many of you in the present moment, there is a lot of love. There is also a lot of compassion. You're seeing this person from a different perspective, your twin flame. It's like they actually need a lot of care, they need a lot of love, but you are not somebody that's gonna jump into them the same way that you did in the past with the Knight of Swords energy, rushing into dropping everything and going full force for your twin. They need to take accountability. So in the present moment, you're really pausing and reflecting and moving very slowly, okay? And you are kind of a little bit tempted to communicate with them. So let's find out. The Eight of Wands, clarified by the Four of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups. So for many of you, the reason why you are really, really holding back the communication is this. Okay, the Eight of Cups, Five of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. So the reason why you're holding back also has to do a lot with the fact that there is this sense of fear of rejection, okay? And maybe that's something that you are working within yourself, and you don't have to necessarily reach out to them to see if they're going to reject you or not, for you to feel if you have learned that lesson or not. It is something deep down you know. And when you master that lesson, when you really learn the art of detachment, and not worrying about somebody rejecting you or not, you're good within yourself. You don't even try to attempt anything. You just let it unfold in a divine timing because this is your divine counterpart. When people try to actually move through a twin flame journey based on a human logical mindset, it's not gonna work out because this is not something that's meant to be understood on a human level. The type of pain and the type of lessons that come along with the package of the twin flame journey is something that's meant to be understood and operated and learned from a higher level of consciousness and understanding, my dear Pisces. I'm using those terms and these words because I know you're a very spiritual person, that you're watching these. And you also want to avoid conflict. I don't know if this person, maybe they have an impulsive behavior, they're a little bit hot-headed. You're wanting to make sure that there is no conflict between you and this person. Okay, so the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. In the present moment, many of you are really holding yourself back from almost saying something to this person or telling them the truth. You do really love this person. You really, really do want the best for them. But I do see here with the Seven of Wands and the Ace of Swords, it's like almost you're meditating, calming yourself down. You're doing more grounded work within yourself, not to come across as being somebody that's needy, desperate, whatever. You're just letting it to unfold in a more natural, organic way. There is some sort of a truth that you really, really want to tell this person. It's like you're holding yourself back. And I think that's probably part of your growth because for so long, dear Pisces, I think that you're someone that you have really, abandoned yourself and sabotage yourself to really go full force to save somebody that didn't want to be saved. You know what I'm saying? And now your lesson here is to hold it back. You don't have to go out there and to save them. Let them come towards you at a different phase. Now, after the crisis phase and the stage that happened between the twin flames, then there is a process of surrender. It's called surrender. So this is a surrender here when I feel like here that in the near future between you and your twin flame is going to happen. And this is literally about allowing this situation to unfold in a way and these lessons, okay? Sitting with the pain, looking into the eyes of the pain and admitting and accepting, embracing, and transmuting and letting it go. Because the moment when when we realize that we need to change, it's better for us. A lot of times the pain of not changing and staying the same becomes much greater than the actual pain of changing. Let me say that again. The pain of staying the same becomes much bigger than the pain of actually changing, because the same repetitive cycles, the same thoughts, the same trauma, the same emotions, the same feelings, they become really overwhelming. But I see here surrender, and this is what's happening with your twin flame in the near future. Three of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. So here's the thing. this person is realizing if they don't work on themselves, if they don't really do the inner work, then there is constantly going to be this stress and this constant arguments with the Five of Swords and the Nine of Swords. They really need to focus on doing the work within themselves in order for them to really qualify to be with you in a relationship as a twin flame. The push and pull back energy is there, but they need to own something within themselves. They need to really work through certain trauma, certain abandonment wounds, avoidant issues, okay, codependency. That then there is an apology. I think that that's what's also going to be coming up. Okay, someone is going to have a major realization. Now, the Three of Swords is clarified by the Sun. Actually, the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is clarified by the Sun, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. So you could be dealing with the Leo again. There is definitely a desire for another level of this connection, taking this friendship, relationship connection to a different level. Okay, even if it was a friendship level, I don't know, whatever level you guys were at. This has to do a lot with somebody really admitting something that they have done or said. But this is not about pointing fingers and trying to really blame each other and play the accusation game. This is about really understanding deeply what is it that needs to be let go of, because this connection is not something that can be operated on an old model of a relationship. Okay, there has to be pause and reflect. There has to be a lot of deep understanding within each other of where is this going and how is this investment going to be, you know, what are the things that you both need to really be doing to invest into this connection, to take it to the next level, okay? Because there is possibly marriage for some of you with this person, or a very strong, solid, committed relationship and connection, Four of Wands. It indicates homecoming, it indicates celebration, also the full season as well. So there is an apology of somebody recognizing that. Somebody's gonna pause, somebody's gonna realize that they really need to admit, okay? And this is a pain that's going to be transmuted between you and your twin flame. That pain that you have been experiencing is not gonna stay there for too long. The Three of Swords is clarified by the Three of Swords again, the Star and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, hold on. This is getting very interesting. Oh my gosh. So Pisces, the Three of Swords is clarified by the Three of Swords, the Star, right? And literally, like, the Three of Swords is getting healed. The pain is getting healed. The Star is actually the card of healing. The Star is hope, a wish that's being fulfilled. And there is the Wheel of Fortune. A new cycle, a new chapter is going to open up for you and this person. Wow. And Wheel of Fortune also indicates destiny. So for many of you, there is a major realization that's going to be taking place for your twin, especially for them to really understand that they need to, in order for them to be into this new chapter, they need to be here with you. They can't be here and then you are there and try to force it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that a lot of you are also pulling your energy back to yourself. You're grounding yourself more, and you're looking at this relationship and this connection from a very compassionate lenses, okay? From a very compassionate viewpoint. And I feel like that for many of you, this pain, whatever has happened, you're either going to write a book about it, you're either going to put it into art, painting, drawing, music. Maybe you're a songwriter, musician. There is one way or another you're going to alchemize this situation, and things are going to be set right between you and this person. There is the Justice holding the scales, and this is talking about a situation, karmic situation that's coming, like a karmic debt is getting cleared out, and there is a situation that's coming into its equilibrium. The pendulum is swinging, and it's coming into its position where things are going to be more balanced, and there's going to be equal give and take exchange energy. So let's see what is the advice for you, dear Pisceana. Honey, nice reading. What is the advice for my Pisces and their twin flame? It's so overcast here today in Vegas. It's sweater weather and it's snuggle weather. Okay, so the Ace of Swords, the King of Cups, which is you, not a gender specific, and the Five of Swords. So for many of you, the advice here is to realize that, as you can see, your level of consciousness, your level of understanding has been expanded. You are not the same person anymore, Pisces. You are not the same old version of you. There is a version of you that you had to let go of in order for you to enter into this new chapter of self-love, self-care, and metamorphosis. This is about you prioritizing yourself. Many of you are realizing that, you know what, even though there might be some sort of anxiety and thinking you really care for this person, you really care for your twin, But a lot of you are really recognizing deep down within yourself that you don't want to force anything, you want alignment. You are actually raising your frequency, raising your consciousness. If you are meditating, if you are doing a lot of breath work, the states that are presented into her head, into her mind, it indicates your evolution, your spiritual journey. And congratulations, you have done the work within yourself and you are continuing to do the work within yourself. And I think that your twin, your other half, your other person, I don't really want to call it half because we become all complete in a way, but it's two healed souls, okay, that are meant to reunite together and create a powerful third united energy center. Then that's very powerful because both of you, when you are healed, you're actually going to be vibrating at a higher level and also emit the frequency of divine bliss, because this is your divine counterpart that you are dealing with, okay? So it is about you really recognizing that this evolution, this spiritual journey that you have been going into, it's not for nothing, okay? There's major shifts that are happening, and your twin flame is somebody that's, that's been very much also in a different journey because of their background, of where they're coming from. This is about you looking at your person from a very compassionate viewpoint, okay? Now let's see what is the messages of love for you, dear Pisceana. What is the messages of love for my Pisces and their twin flame? So the messages of love here for you, it says chemistry, and the message says the attraction you feel is mutual. Literally, this is all about chemistry. It's very much in sync with the devil here that I also pulled. The attraction, the chemistry, the tenacity, it's very intense. And, it can be very difficult to hold it back, especially you being the horniest sign along with Scorpio and Leo. I think that this is something that you're really learning and mastering within yourself because you're not going carnal, you're going spiritual, and then the alignment of all the other factors will happen for you. So, dear Pisceana, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.